Right now, a high-stakes debate in the race for the Senate. We have team coverage of the event tonight and what we can expect from the candidates. Also, with less than 3 weeks to go until Election Day, both parties focus their efforts on Wisconsin with several visits planned for the Badger State. And later, if you love to read, then Madison is the place to be this weekend. We take a look at the Wisconsin Book Festival Fall Celebration. Welcome to News 3 Now at 6. Thank you for joining us. Eric has the night off. Well, in about 1 hour, incumbent Senator Tammy Baldwin and Republican challenger Eric Hovde will take part in their first and, for now, only debate of this election. The race for the seat is tightening, and the outcome could affect which party controls the Senate. We have team coverage here at the debate and at the debate. Let's start with News 3 Now's Braden Rawls live where the debate is set to take place. Braden.
Hey, Armand, yeah, like you said, this is the only scheduled debate for these candidates tonight, and it's a really high-stakes night for both of them as this race continues to get tighter and tighter. Now, eyes nationwide will be on Madison tonight as Hovde and Baldwin face off. Although Republicans are very likely to keep control of the Senate this year, Baldwin's seat is still a must-win for Democrats because of Wisconsin's importance in the presidential race. In other words, if Baldwin loses, it almost certainly means Harris will lose Wisconsin as well. Now, we asked the candidates what a win would look like tonight. Here's what Hovde said.
I look forward to finally debating. Senator Baldwin has ran from every debate, and typically you get 3 to 4, and now we're getting one debate for 1 hour on a Friday night. So I'm just looking forward to talking about issues and debating Senator Baldwin.
Now, Baldwin's campaign sent us a statement reading in part, quote, Tammy Baldwin will show why Wisconsin voters trust her to represent them in the U.S. Senate. She shows up, listens, and delivers for them and their families, and she'll work with anyone to do it. Now, this debate starts in just under an hour here, but before the debate, we'll have pre-debate coverage led by our political reporter, Will Keneally. He's back in the studio now. Hey, Will.
Hey, Braden, that's right. So from right here, we will break down everything that we're about to hear at that debate with our expert political panel, essentially cutting through the noise. So you'll hear, different speeches on abortion, for example, or immigration. So we'll break down everything that you need to know about what we're expecting the candidates to say tonight, as well as kind of cutting through the noise. So, for example, any of the campaign rhetoric that you might hear on the campaign trail, cutting through to what exactly you need to know. Also really highlighting the stakes of this crucial election for what is expected to be the one and only time that we'll see these candidates face off against each other. So again, we'll have full pre-debate coverage here, right here, starting at 6:30 on 3.2 TW, and we'll have the debate there as well. But for now, we'll send it back to you, Armand, in the studio.
All right, Will and Braden, thank you. Well, earlier this week, Democratic VP candidate Tim Walz sat down with us for an exclusive interview. In the wake of continued pressure by some Democrats to take a harder stance on Israel's actions in Gaza, we asked Walz how he plans to unify the Democratic Party.
Yeah, we just in Minnesota had a large group of folks, of Muslim voters, endorse the campaign. They're speaking for concerns that they have, and that's fine. But I think an understanding is this is a choice between Donald Trump's reckless policies that our allies don't trust him. Dictators love him because he wants to be one, and he has no plan.
We have that full interview available to see online at channel3000.com. And Republican vice presidential nominee J.D. Vance will speak in Waukesha this weekend. The Trump campaign announcing Vance will speak at Stein's Arrow at 5 p.m. Sunday. He's expected to speak on issues affecting Catholic voters and tout the campaign's creation of the, quote, Catholics for Trump coalition. Doors to the event open at 3. And Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren will campaign for Harris and Walz in western Wisconsin this weekend. Warren will visit Eau Claire on Sunday at 3 p.m. and La Crosse on Monday at 3:45 p.m. Exact locations for both events were not announced. The Harris-Walz campaign said Warren will use the visit to tout Harris's plans to lower costs and criticize former President Donald Trump for the conservative Project 2025 plan. Meanwhile, former President Barack Obama and Democratic vice presidential nominee Tim Walz will be campaigning in Madison next week. The two will be here Tuesday, October 22nd, the same day early voting opens in Wisconsin. Obama and Walz are expected to hold a rally to encourage voters to vote early for Democrats. Both are expected to speak at around 1:30. No word on the location of this event either at this time. And the Harris-Walz campaign also announcing members of the cast of The West Wing will campaign for the ticket in Wisconsin this weekend. Martin Sheen, Bradley Whitford, Dulé Hill, Mary McCormick, and Richard Schiff will be launching canvasses in Waukesha, Milwaukee, and Madison. The group will be in Madison through Sunday morning, though an exact location was not announced. Well, the warmer temperatures are back. Let's check the first warn forecast with Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington. Alex, where did fall go?
I'm looking for it out here, and I can't seem to find it, and I'm not going to find it anytime soon in southern Wisconsin. We got really warm temperatures to stick around for a good portion of the 10-day, although I should say there'll be 2 days that will be normal in our 10-day forecast, which I'll show you a little bit later in our newscast. Right now, let's track the temperatures over the course of the past 24 hours. Yesterday, we were at about 60 degrees, got down into the upper 30s, straight around 40. Little missing data there, but that's okay. Showing the temperature trend, we got up to 68 for a high temperature today in Madison. Normal high temperatures, 58, so 10 degrees above normal today. A beautiful day out here now. We had a bit of a breeze earlier, and those breezes have since gone away as we progress into the evening. 65 in Madison, 66 in Stoughton, 66 to the southwest in Mount Horeb, 67 to the north up towards Wanakee and Forest Hub at 65 in Camp Douglas, 64 in the Dells, and 63 in Monroe. Again, normal highs. I really emphasize this. I've been doing that for the past couple of weeks now because it's been so warm. Normal highs around 58 degrees, and as we plan the rest of our evening, we won't see normal high temperature. Feels like temperatures. There won't be any breeze here until we get between 6 and 8 o'clock. Even when you join us again for our 10 o'clock newscast, temperatures are still basking relatively warm in the lower 50s across southern Wisconsin. Another benefit of having the clear skies and the sunny conditions makes for those stunning moon photos that we've been getting here at Channel 3000. Kelly, just scan that QR code, just like you could do right now, and send us your photo. We still have the comet in the southwestern sky, and I'd like to see your pretty fall pictures here of the peak leaves as we progress into this nice weekend. It will be a good weekend for that viewing. Coming up in Maine weather, though, I want to let you know when we will see temperatures up near 80 degrees. And again, how long does this warm weather stretch last? Do we have any rain in the forecast, and how much?
Alex, thank you. Dane County medical examiners confirmed that recently discovered human remains are that of a missing man. 65-year-old Timothy Campbell left a group home along Loper Road on September 21st. A silver alert was issued for him the next day. On October 13th, a hunter discovered Campbell's remains in the area of County Highway Y and Loper Road. The cause and manner of his death are pending, and additional testing is underway. And right now, a family is without a home after a fire last night. Sun Prairie firefighters were sent to Selkirk Drive just after 11. The family had evacuated by the time the crews have got there, and they found the fire in the laundry room and smoke coming out of a dryer vent. They were able to put out the fire, but the home is no longer livable. Damage is estimated at $100,000 to $125,000. Nobody was hurt, and the cause of that fire is under investigation. And to an update now on a wagon accident out of Chippewa County that injured several people. For the first time, one of the children hospitalized got to meet the first responders who treated him. It's been almost a month since 25 people were hurt after a wagon tipped over at an apple orchard in Chippewa County. Gabe Meyer was one of them, being flown to a hospital, and for days Gabe was treated to skull fractures and a concussion, among other injuries, at hospitals in St. Paul. Now Gabe is back with those who helped him, picking out pumpkins in a reunion first responders don't often get.
A lot of times we don't get to follow up with our patients, even dropping them off at the hospital, so it was really exciting.
All the calls don't work out like that, and sometimes you have traumatic calls that don't end well, and the ones that do end well, you really have to focus on and realize that's why you're doing the job.
Now Gabe is continuing to recover and is going to school part-time, but he still needs to take it slow. And community leaders are celebrating National School Nutrition Week by helping serve lunches to students. Created in 1962, the week highlights the importance of nutritious meals for students. Today, Representative Alex Joers showed his support at Pope Farm Elementary School.
Just understanding how to be healthy and make healthy food choices is an important part of growing and learning. So that's something that we want to continue to offer, and making sure that they have a diverse and culturally, appropriate foods that they can choose from.
The National School Lunch Program serves nearly 30 million children every school day. And coming up on News 3 Now at 6, a comedy duo is heading to Madison as part of a musical tour. Plus, being a Girl Scout could soon cost you more. How much the National Council is considering raising membership fees.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6, brought to you by Gruber Law Offices.
After a serious truck crash, you need a team who knows how to handle trucking cases and gets results. You need Gruber Law Offices. There's never a fee until we win. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Sarah Kieski, she supports lifting revenue limits, allowing property tax rates to skyrocket unchecked. Kieski's backers want to ban natural gas to heat our homes, driving utility bills through the roof. That's Kieski's record, expensive and extreme.
A flood of illegals, skyrocketing prices, global chaos, and Kamala wouldn't change a thing.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
Nothing will change with Kamala. More weakness, more war, more welfare for illegals, and even more taxes. Only President Trump cut middle-class taxes, and only President Trump will do it again.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
You have a clear choice in this election. Senator Baldwin is a 38-year career politician. I'm a businessman and job creator. She supports taxpayer benefits for illegal immigrants. I'll close the border. Tammy wants to put guys and girls sports in their bathrooms. I'll protect our daughters. Senator Baldwin abuses the political system. I'll fight the corruption. I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message. I'd be honored to have your vote.
Sarah Kieski, she supports lifting revenue limits, allowing property tax rates to skyrocket unchecked. Kieski's backers want to ban natural gas to heat our homes, driving utility bills through the roof. That's Kieski's record, expensive and extreme.
Madison has a $22 million budget gap and a big ask for local voters. I'll have city officials break down the question you'll see on next month's ballot and the impact your vote could have. 3 for the People, Monday at 10.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
The Coats for Kids campaign is still looking for volunteers for its distribution event next week. It'll take place October 25th from 9 to 6 at the Boys and Girls Clubs of Dane County in Fitchburg, Madison, Sun Prairie. Volunteers can sign up to help by emailing the Boys and Girls Clubs of Dane County volunteer coordinator. We'll have a link to that on channel3000.com. And the Girl Scouts of the USA are voting whether to raise membership dues from $25 a year to $85 a year. That's a 240% hike per scout. Membership dues are the organization's largest source of revenue. In 2023, they generated $38 million from nearly 2 million members. But the Girl Scouts has faced cash flow issues stemming from the pandemic, inflation, and changing consumer behaviors. Some members believe the hike is out of reach for many families. Delegates of the Girl Scouts National Council will vote tomorrow on the new membership fees. And a comedy duo from the Washington, D.C. area is making a stop in Madison for their musical tour. Grief Cat is coming to the Burr Oak on October 28th. The stop is part of their national headline tour, which kicks off next Tuesday in Chicago. The duo uses music to poke fun at every facet of American life. Their latest album, Late Stage Capitalism, looks at how corporations have invaded private people's lives.
I mean, we like to kind of write a little bit of what we know and what we observe, observational comedy. I think a lot of what we do is pretty satirical. But one of the things that we really like to focus on is that it really is music. We're musicians first, and we just happen to be funny.
Grief Cat's tour will wrap up on November 17th back in Washington, D.C. And still ahead, Halloween less than 2 weeks away. More people are turning more to fruitier treats this year. Plus, the Badger State's premier literary event happening this weekend. We take a sneak peek at what it has to offer. And could we see the return of the rain next week? Alex returns with his complete forecast when we come back.
Get an 11% rebate on everything at Menards. A Kona concrete repair is a ready-to-use crack filler and sealer. It's durable, flexible, and can be used for interior and exterior applications. A tube is only $1.99 after rebate. Get hot water when you need it with a Richmond 50-gallon smart electric water heater. Its Leak Guard technology detects any potential water leaks and sends an alert to your smartphone. Now $599.99 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
Peter Barca dishonored our service and America's commitment to veterans.
And Congress, Barca voted to cut our benefits, impacting our lives, our families. It's just wrong.
It's just wrong.
Veterans can't trust career politicians like Peter Barca, and neither can you.
Brian Stile will always work to protect veterans like me.
Brian is not a career politician, he's a fighter, and he's always working for us.
I'm Brian Stile, and I approve this message.
Have you heard Eric Hovde?
I am totally opposed to abortion.
I am totally opposed to politicians telling women what we can do.
Extremists all over the country have passed abortion bans.
Criminal penalties for doctors. No exceptions for rape or incest.
Women are dying just trying to get health care.
There are even restrictions in Wisconsin. This has to stop.
I am totally opposed to abortion.
We are totally opposed to Eric Hovde.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Donald Trump makes a lot of promises, but we can be sure of one thing. If he wins, he'll ignore all checks that rein in a president's power. It's all in Trump's Project 2025 agenda. What does that mean for you? Higher cost on groceries, cuts to Social Security and Medicare, more tax breaks for billionaires, and a national abortion ban putting women's health at risk. A second Trump term, more unhinged, unstable, and unchecked.
Out of money, I know. What are you doing? You're rich as hell. We're going to give you tax cuts. We're going to pay you.
I am not rich as hell. I work hard. I scrape to get by. Donald Trump wants to give tax breaks to billionaires, but Kamala Harris has plans to help us. She's going to crack down on price gouging and cut taxes for working people like me. I voted for Donald Trump before, but this time I'm voting for Kamala.
FFPAC is responsible for the content of this ad.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
Well, check this out. A perfect event for local book lovers. Wisconsin's Book Festival gives readers and authors the chance to connect. Tanisha Shaw spoke to organizers about the way to take advantage of the free event.
We see so many special moments where folks turn to each other because they laugh at something that the author says at the exact same time in our events.
Every fall, Madison Public Library hosts its Fall Book Festival for bookworms all over Dane County.
It's so important to think about the timelessness and the universality of reading and writing and coming together to share in a unique and special moment.
Roughly 70 authors are speaking throughout the city of Madison this weekend. Even if you haven't read any of these books, they say you can still stop by.
You don't actually have to have any knowledge or any background on any of these books. Like, you can come and you can be spontaneous and just sort of walk in and join us.
This event prioritizes independent writers, authors, and small business owners, like Molly Fish. She owns Madison's Lake City Books.
We can be selling the books that the authors are there to promote and sign. So you get access to getting signed copies and get to actually talk to these authors, and it's all free and open to the public.
About 55 events are hosted in just 4 days. All of them help bridge communities and enhance creativity.
It's so fun to see where people come from, what their backgrounds are, and the fact that they come together to share in a particular event.
That was our Tanisha Shaw reporting. Events started today at 4:30 in the afternoon, and festivities wrap up on Sunday. And there may be less chocolate in your kids' trick-or-treat bags this Halloween. Experts say that's because high cocoa prices are driving consumers to purchase more gummy and fruity treats. Market research firm Circana says while chocolate still dominates, more teens and middle-aged adults are leaning towards gummy and sour candy. One, because they tend to be less expensive, and two, there's now a broader range of flavors to choose from. The National Retail Federation expects Halloween spending in general to drop compared to last year's record-breaking sales. A mild and sunny weekend ahead. Here's Alex with a complete forecast. You got a favorite candy, Alex?
I was thinking you were going to transition to me. Yeah, Starburst. At the Harrington family, my sister and I would get Starburst on Halloween. We'd like the cherry and the strawberry ones. We'd wake up the next morning, they'd be gone. My dad would eat all of them. So we would have the orange ones and the lemon ones, but they still tasted very good as well. And we got a good forecast. It's going to taste pretty nice, I think, as well, overall here. 70s through Monday, dry through the weekend. We're used to that. We're also used to small rain chances. Other than the rain that we got on September 21st and 22nd, there really has been very few drops across southern Wisconsin. Very isolated, too. Tracking the rest of your evening as you join us at our 10 o'clock newscast. Temperatures still up near 50 degrees at 10 o'clock at night, when normal highs are 58 degrees, and that's what you should see during the peak of the day. We're still at 6 o'clock. We're still in the mid to upper 60s across southern Wisconsin right now. 64 in Janesville, 67 in Boscobel, and 64 to the north in the Dells. You'd think that this is more like a September day, but no, this is a late October day across southern Wisconsin. Let's do a little tour with our sky cams out there. Beautiful evening out here with our sky cam. Notice the clear skies here. Let's take a look at our Dodgeville cam. Clear skies here. A little bit of movement to the cam. It's a bit on the breezy side, especially out over the prairies of southwestern Wisconsin. And then again here, I wanted to show the Queen Bee radio sky cam, but I was looking at it earlier, and they also have clear skies out there as well. Overnight low temperatures tonight right around 40 degrees across a good portion of southern Wisconsin. A little bit warmer off to the west. That's where our warm air is coming from, is from the south and from the west. Look how warm these temperatures are going to be as we go into Saturday. 71 Madison, 73 Lone Rock, 73 Prairie du Chien, 73 in Camp Douglas, and how about a 70 in Monroe. Bit on the breezy side tomorrow, but with temperatures in the 70s, it's not going to put too much of a chill in the air. This is our really only best chance for rain over the next 7 days or so, is going into Wednesday. We'll have a cold front come through Tuesday, maybe a shower or two. Best chances on Wednesday here with a stronger cold front. Could have a clap or two of thunder with that as it moves through. But this is how much water we're expecting. During the 5 o'clock newscast, they said, tune in at 6. I'll show you how much water we can expect. 1/4 of an inch, maybe 1/10 of an inch at most. So not a lot of water, not really even a lot to settle the dust, as my mom would say. Now let's go into Saturday here. Let's track the day here. We've got the Badger football game against Northwestern. 11 a.m. kickoff, 64, 69 at halftime, 71 at the end of the game. Sunny and warm, winds south at 6 to 12 miles per hour. My recommendation, why don't you bring the shades in? You might want the sunscreen too as well. Keep the sunscreen out for Sunday and Monday. Showers at that cold front Tuesday going into Wednesday. There's the fall-like days I was alluding to. That would be Wednesday, Thursday going into Friday. That's about normal for this time of year. Could look at looking at some frost during that time frame, and then the thermometer starts to read above normal again as we head towards the following weekend.
And coming up in sports, it's border battle time in Minneapolis. What Mark Johnson expects from his team before they hit the ice. That's next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
My husband and I were elated to find out that we would be having another baby. But after many tests, my doctors agreed that we had to terminate the pregnancy. It was the worst day of my life. You should know that Eric Hubdy supports laws that stop me and my doctor from making that decision. And that's a ban with no exceptions in cases of rape or incest. It's a ban that could turn doctors into criminals. He opposes abortion, period.
Win Senate is responsible for the content of this ad.
Are record high energy costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? While you haven't asked for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to face the challenge of living without heat or power or face homelessness. For a hand up, apply today.
Under Kamala, there's been a big hike in Medicare premiums. Social Security benefits don't go far with Kamala's inflation slamming seniors. Now Kamala wants struggling seniors to pay more Social Security taxes, while she gives Medicare and Social Security to illegals. That will doom Medicare. President Trump will make sure no one cuts Medicare or Social Security. Trump lowered Medicare premiums, and he'll end the tax on Social Security.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
You have a clear choice in this election. Senator Baldwin is a 38-year career politician. I'm a businessman and job creator. She supports taxpayer benefits for illegal immigrants. I'll close the border. Tammy wants to put guys in girls' sports and in their bathrooms. I'll protect our daughters. Senator Baldwin abuses the political system. I'll fight the corruption. I'm Eric Hubdy, and I approve this message. I'd be honored to have your vote.
Sometimes the smallest cracks can cause the biggest chills. And something sinister is lurking in the shadows.
What was that?
To survive, they must seal their fate.
Not working.
With Feldco.
50% off Windows ends soon. Come now.
This fall, watch out for The Draft.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
Tonight's matchup in Minnesota has it all. The Badgers go across state lines to play their biggest rival, the Gophers, for a border battle that features two of the top 3 teams in the country. It's women's college hockey at its absolute best. Now, Mark Johnson likes the momentum his team has been gaining to start the season and says when the pucks drop, his message is simple. Tonight, we skate.
They should be confident. They've worked hard. They're in good shape, and that should, give them the position when they step on the ice to go play hockey. Don't worry about making mistakes. Just like do what you naturally have to do. And that, if your mind's free and you're playing, with that freedom, then you're probably going to play pretty good. You can't get involved with, well, we're on the road, we're the visitors, they're really good. I mean, it's like, no, it's just like drop the puck, we play hockey.
That game's currently going on. We'll have highlights at 10, but this is your final reminder of the week to check out tonight's Wisconsin Huddle with Darian Dupree. Show starts in just a few minutes right here on News 3 Now. It's been a historic season for Highland in their first year playing 8-man football. The Cardinals already wrapped up the Ridge Valley Conference title. Now they're trying to cap off a perfect regular season. Just need to beat Monticello to do that. Cardinals have been rolling this year, outscoring their opponents 309-55. And their special teams were special today. 4th play of the game, Highland flies in and blocks the punt, and that sets up their offense, knocking on the door, and Jackson McGuire runs right through it to make it 6-0 Cardinals. Now they'd force the Ponies to punt on their next drive, and John Dreschmeyer has reservations for 6. He fields the punt, and then check out the flock of Cardinals blocking for him. Dreschmeyer streaks down the sidelines, and Highland caps off a perfect regular season with a 50-0 win. And for more high school football, tune in tonight's regular season finale of the Final Drive. Andrew and I will have highlights of a handful of games in our area. That's coming up tonight at 10.
There we go. And perfect weather today and tomorrow for football.
Summer-like weather, if you like that, playing football. We've got temperatures in the 70s this weekend. Hey, I know it's a nice weekend. Don't forget to come say hi to Blaze and myself tomorrow. Wisconsin Energy Institute from 10 o'clock in the morning till 1 o'clock. We're going to let you play with our weather software. You can get up in front of a 50-inch screen monitor and take some photos and videos of you doing the weather tomorrow.
There we go. Sounds fun. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you again tonight on News 3 Now at 10.